What's up, everyone? So we are back, and what also happened is that I've not been doing some training for a long time, right before the end of this past year, and now I'm in a predicament. I need to get back, and it sucks.
You feel like you're not on the track you should be on.
Exactly. That is what happened, and today we're going to share some of our experiences about how we got back on track and how we are trying to stay on this track in order not to get back on this in the future.
Well said. And the thing with losing your track is
Yes,
that just like if you're traveling, if you're on a road trip and you take the wrong turn, you don't realize you're lost the second you take the wrong turn. You realize you're lost when you are way deep into that wrong turn.
yes,
So hopefully from sharing our experiences, we can help you recognize and think, okay, here is the wrong turn right in front of me. If I go into that direction, I can make a quick adjustment right here and now before I go way into that wrong turn.
exactly.
So from my life experiences, I want to rewind many, many years ago to when I was just a high school student.
Uh huh.
And the only thing I guess I've amassed to my name is my video game playtime and the amount of cheeseburgers I can eat. So
Oh, yeah.
if you were to tell me what my track was back then, you would literally just see video games and eating junk food, not caring about health, not caring about growing my mind even. So what happens is, even though I changed environment, changed country, going
Yeah,
into university, that did
yeah,
nothing into changing my behavior, into changing my mindset. So
indeed.
for literally my entire first year of university was wasted playing video games, eating
That's
junk
happened.
food, not caring about my health. So as soon as that first year ended, I guess you could describe it like a click inside of me where I was thinking, okay, I'm tired of feeling bad all the
Yes,
time. I'm tired of feeling that even though I walk up a flight of stairs, I'm exhausted, I'm out of breath. So in that summer, I remember focusing all of my efforts,
yes.
researching, looking up in different YouTube channels, reading different articles, just focusing on fitness. Nothing else. I remember it would be the first thing I do when I'd wake up, and the last thing I do before I go to bed would be like just read fitness, go to the gym, try out exercises, ask the people there to look at my form, make sure I'm doing everything right.
Yeah,
And that's all I did. Like literally for 3 months, it would be like, okay, Google, what is the best meal to eat? Oh, chicken and broccoli, done. That's all I would do. And that improved. I started to see improvement after three
okay.
months. And when summer ended, I guess you could describe it as seeing the beginner gains from the
Yeah,
gym. But just because I was in a right direction there didn't mean everything else was headed in the right path. I still didn't care that much in my studies, but that had a different wake up call. Just another average semester day of showing up to class, not paying attention,
uh
coming
huh.
back to my room playing video games, going to
Yeah,
the gym, coming back playing video games. I received an email from my academic advisor saying, "Oh, can we discuss uh, to discuss your role in the
yeah.
university?" And I remember I walked into that office and I
Okay.
left terrified
Yeah,
because what she told me was, "Your grades are so low,
yeah.
unless you manage to get an A in every class,
Mmm,
you will fail out of the university."
damn.
And I started thinking to myself, okay, I'm wasting this opportunity I have here in another
Yes.
country, disappoint my parents. So I remember going to every single professor, and to them, I was just another one of that kid who would walk into the office saying like, "Oh, please, can I get a good grade? Please, can I get another chance?"
Yeah,
Something like that. So to that, they've seen it before. And it was all the same response. Look, if you want the grades, you have to work for it.
exactly.
And I remember from there, I started cutting out parts. So instead of going to class, going to gym, coming back into my room playing video games, the direction I turned my focus on was focusing on studies.
Yeah.
Focused in class improved. And it was all because I made a conscious effort. And that's the thing about staying on the right track, is you have to make that conscious effort.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Yeah.
like turned my mind into, I guess you could say, machine mode, where it would say, I'm studying until I learn this, until I understand it right. And thankfully, by some, I'm not going to say miracle way, because that would mean I'm undermining the hard work. But from that focus, from paying attention, was able to shift everything and get on the right track.
Right.
So here I am, way deep into the wrong turn, by making those conscious efforts and decisions in the day allowed me to turn around and go, we're not taking this path anymore, we're going to follow a different path. And that went on for the next 2 years, 3 years.
Okay.
And from there, I started making more conscious efforts into picking what I was passionate about, into studying and taking electives that I really loved. So instead of taking electives that everyone thought was easy, that everyone said just take the easier classes so you can have a good time,
Yeah.
I took the classes that were like kinesiology, that were like nutrition, that focused on some psychology classes, because
Nice.
I had such a desire to understand everything there is I can about the human body. So I started taking those, and everything was great. Like every day, I felt that I was going up and up and up.
Nice.
And it improved like my confidence, my ability to, I guess you could say, navigate in life.
Okay.
And just like a video game, when your character levels up and you get the new ability,
Yeah.
I could feel that physically and mentally. Like literally every day I'd be like, oh, I can do this now. I know this better now. I can understand and communicate this idea way more effectively now.
Yes.
But even though I remembered, that I took the wrong turns before, that didn't stop me from taking the wrong turn again.
Okay.
So what happens is, I guess you could say, in my 4th year, close to my last year,
Yes.
more and more of these like little nagging in my head was saying, oh, you can take rest today from the gym because, you're going to graduate soon. Just lay off, take it easy. But the thing is, that right there, even though seemed very minor, was taking that wrong turn.
Yeah.
Was heading into the wrong intersection. Because from there, from taking just 1, 2 doesn't seem that bad. 3 doesn't seem
Exactly.
terrible either. And that builds up. So what happens is, I've now undoing all of that compounded effort.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not in good shape as I was. I'm not able to recall information that I could remember instantly back then. And that carried on. But just like I said, when you take that wrong turn while driving, you don't realize you took the wrong turn until you're way deep in.
Yeah.
So now, fast forward another 1 year. So what I'm saying basically took the span of 5 years. So now we're in that last 5th year. From the end of that last 5th year, everything that I've worked hard to achieve personally has been undone.
Darn.
But to make it even worse, you have Corona hitting, lockdown hitting. Now here I am stuck inside, thinking, why not go for pizza today again?
Oh yeah.
Why not go for fried foods today again?
Very common.
Why not focus on reading? Why not just, play video games? You're in lockdown, it's okay. Blah, blah, blah. Excuses again. And then I break my hand. So on top of all of that,
Darn.
now my physical strength goes down, my progress from the gym was basically the same than it was before I even started 5 years ago.
Okay.
And that really, like, I noticed that hitting me in the head, and like it brought my attitude down. It got my, like, I guess you could say, personal feelings, like how I
Yeah.
felt inside,
Okay.
all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like all that effort and hard work was just done down the drain.
Yes.
And that's another wrong turn I took, was thinking that was all for nothing, rather than thinking I did this before while feeling terrible, while
Yes.
not feeling in great shape. So that means I can do it again.
Yeah.
And that's the start of going back again into the right turn.
Mm-hmm.
So now here I am, recognizing these thoughts, recognizing these actions that I've done before, that I've done again. So,
Yeah.
like at that point, I'm thinking, okay, good, no excuses. We see what we did wrong, and
Right.
now I know what I have to do to get there right. And now, thankfully, from that 5 year timeline, I guess we're in year 7. And now
Mm-hmm.
in year 7, I'm happily able to recognize that we are right back there
Nice.
in the getting in shape, getting sharper, and that doesn't stop there. Because if you're not leveling up, you're leveling down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
And
a
that's
good
my
way to
story,
think
yeah.
about it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm getting some ideas about how to kind of like get myself back on track, because what happens is that kind of you, if I think about that, I think about that your situation, that story of yours, as in terms of like peaks and troughs, right? So you go up, so you achieve some kind of like a good situation somewhere in life, be the training, for example, or studies, and then due to some circumstances you can go down, right? So, but then you need to go back from this kind of like valley and go back to the peak, right? So you need to get to like another peak from that trough. And yeah, that what happens in life in many cases. So if I think about kind of like my life situations, for example, training, let's consider that as an example. So I can be also in a very similar situation. For example, I could be training consistently over the course of like a year of 2022, for instance. So I go to the gym, for example, and I train, right? But then there's going to be some month, maybe it's going to be like November or December, the ultimate months of the year, which were very busy, and then it kind of prompted me to kind of like minimize the training, right? And then I almost like quit from the like training regimen, so which was not optimal. So and then now I have to get back on track. So yeah, that happens to a lot of us, and then that did happen to me as well. So yeah, and that's kind of like not the first time when honestly kind of like such things take place due to various circumstances. But the idea here will be to now adjust and to make sure that we are kind of like staying on top as much as possible. Of course, it's going to be kind of like hard because, again, some kind of circumstances might prevent you from doing something, but at least you need to try to think how to minimize the time when you are off the peak, for example, right? So yeah, maybe you'll be at some kind of a plateau, which is also not bad, or maybe you will kind of drop down a little bit, but not so much that you lost all your gains, as you were saying. So, and the first thing, however, if I fell off the track, then I had to get back on track. So how do I do that? Normally, I try to be consistent, and I will continually ramp up the intensity to get back to the previous shape from which I fell off in the past, right? So yeah, because for example, you cannot go considerably from like, let's say 0 to, or like maybe like from level 5 to level 95 in just a matter of maybe like a week or something like that, right? So considering if you like train quite a bit, so you need to be gradual about that. So and that's what I was trying, right? Previously I said to myself, okay, well, I'm gonna get back to shape very quickly, and then I'll give myself a week, and then I would pile up all those like training things into the schedule. But guess what happened? I was burned out very quickly at the end of such a week, right? So, and it was not kind of like a consistent way to get back on track. So I decided to do something different. I decided to kind of like be gradual, right? So if I were to climb the hill, I would ramp up the kind of intensity consistently, because you climb relatively slowly and you skyrocket fast, right? So that's what happens. So you kind of like need to emulate your approach accordingly, right? So if you climb up, then you need to be kind of gradual, right? You need to be consistent and maybe like not very intense. So, and then I was thinking, okay, well, this week I'll do maybe just one training session. Next week I'll do, for example, 2 training sessions, and so on, until I achieve that shape when I do maybe like training 6 days a week or something like that. So yeah, and then that way I'm gonna be having a much higher chance to get back to that peak of whatever it was, peak of gains, peak of shape, peak of the skill set, peak of the performance capability. And also I will try to minimize my chances of burning out in the process. So basically consistency over intensity. So that will be like an important thing when you get back into something. Don't try to be kind of like skyrocketing yourself into those previous results. So there is a high chance to crash and burn like a rocket, actually.
Yeah, and great thing that you mentioned consistency over intensity.
Yes.
Because I remember as soon as I finished the process of physical therapy and like getting my hand back in good shape, first thing I said to myself was, okay, I have to hit the gym just like I used to do it before.
Yes.
But in my mind, I was still thinking in terms of year 3s to 4 in the gym, which was like my peak years. So immediately going into the gym, not doing so well. Okay,
Indeed.
Like even light weights feel terrible. Or instead of cutting my programs down in half, it would say, no, go do the full thing, not knowing that like I'm not able to take it without injuring myself.
Yeah.
And then that's what allowed me to step back and reassess, because it's been over like 6 years, 7 years since I had to think of the way I first approached it, like in my first year.
Yeah.
Which was, okay, try it out very light. Do half of the program today, but do the full program next week and see how you feel.
Yes.
Or do 3/4 of the program. Don't do the full reps, but do it just enough so that you awaken your muscles, not exhaust them, so that by the time it's next week, you're not able to perform well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that took, I guess you could say, a different level of mental fortitude that can only be achieved through that type of experience.
Yes.
Like if I were to say what I felt, and if you asked me to describe the words to write it down, the only thing I can think of is it was hard.
Yeah, exactly. So I will kind of like reflect on this thing of the gradual comeback as well, just like you were saying, right? You cannot you will have a high probability to fail if you try to, as you said, immediately get back to the previous results, right? So, and then this will kind of like likely to get you kind of like off track again. And then at some point you will be maybe like posting on Instagram, oh, it's good to be back, and then all that kind of like insane situations. To me, it's just kind of an insane kind of like scenario to always kind of like post, oh yeah, it's good to be back, it's good to be back, it's good to be back. So no, it's not good to be back. So it just means that you fall off track way too often. So yeah, it's good to be back, but don't focus on that. Be rather focused on how to stay back, not to just kind of like get back, right? So, and then an important thing will be there for me. So what kind of like caused me to maybe way too often think, oh, it's good to be back, is that I was falling off due to the overtraining simply. So because I was trying to get back immediately to the previous results, right? And then it was kind of like backfiring. So what also happened is that I had to be disciplined not only in the kind of like gradual and consistent ramping up of the training intensity, but also in listening to the body, right, basically, and then adjusting the course, because sometimes, yes, not always you can attack some sort of like goal, right, but you can also think about the defense, right, from this goal, because this goal will take some energy from you, right, maybe like from your muscles, for example, from your body, if you think about the physical training. So then you will need to kind of like force yourself to rest, maybe do something like lighter, right, some sort of lighter activity, such as like lighter form of the same training that could be kind of a substitute. It's important to find those alternative things, right, which you can use in order to keep yourself on track, and also kind of like not to fall off track, and at the same time kind of like keep pursuing the goal to which you want to get back, for instance, right? So then also it's important to take some kind of like a resting time, right? So maybe, okay, well, it's going to be one day when I will not do the training, but instead I was just talking to Aziz yesterday, just maybe like go for a walk, right? It's going to be like as simple as that, not very intense, but it will still help you kind of like be in that groove, right, and then not fall off completely. If you like say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna like do some sort of activity every day, or maybe at least, I don't know, like 3 days a week or something like that, right? So just don't kind of like stop or quit completely. So I think that's gonna be important, because you need to gain this momentum of getting back into the activity, and that's what will help you kind of like keep going, basically.
It's very important to take earned rests,
Yes.
like you said. And let's think of the analogy again, like life is a highway. And you're driving there, sometimes you see a sign, like, gas station, you see a
Yeah.
sign, restaurant, motel. If you're feeling tired while you're on your track, it's okay to stop by there, take a rest, take a breather, and then get back on track.
Yeah.
But, seeing a route you're not supposed to take and you think that might be a shortcut, if I cut through here, but then not knowing you end up in the completely wrong area, that's not okay. And that reminds me of after my first powerlifting competition.
Yes.
Here I was still unexperienced lifter. This is year 1.5 of like that journey I was discussing.
Oh yeah.
I'm in the gym with some of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. And after the competition, I thought, okay, we're gonna continue training hard again today. We're gonna continue go full heavy. And then what really humbled me was seeing those really incredibly like strong and dedicated individuals. They're saying, take today to readjust, see how you feel. Sorry for the interruption. I'm not sure if the sound of raced cars outside is disrupting the microphone.
Oh, that's
Just let me know
fine.
if it is. Yeah, as I was saying, like these really dedicated and like talented isn't the right word to use, because this is a lot of hard work, just solely done from hard work and sweat.
Yes.
These individuals, I see them training like it's their first day in the gym, like using just empty bars, not heavy weights, going easy, nice and slow. A
Yeah.
lot of them spending double the time in warm-ups, double the time in mobility, double the time in stretching. So taking these activities that are supposed to help recharge,
Yes.
heal, and improve you, rather than just going, oh no, we're going to go extreme today, we're going to train even harder, which is not good.
Indeed. Yeah.
Like that car driving in the highway, if your tank is running empty, you have to take that turn, refill gas, and continue. If you think, no, we're going to go extreme, we're going to keep driving, what happens? Car breaks down, goes empty gas, you're stuck in the middle of the highway. Not a good idea.
Exactly. Yeah, that is awesome. So yeah, hopefully we were able to share several good approaches that we use to get back on track, because we naturally can fall off some activities, so that's completely fine. So that does happen to all of us, but it's important to not abandon them completely, but rather try to get back to them. And once again, I just wanted to say that it is entirely possible to get back to those activities as long as you have approaches. which we have just shared with you guys, and that worked for us, and then hopefully they will work for you as well. So please consider subscribing and leave comments below to tell us how we're doing, what else you would like to hear from us, and we will be happy to consider those thoughts, and we will be very grateful for them. So
Yes, anyone in the comments, let us know how you've fallen off track, what you use to get back on track, what
indeed,
works. Maybe there's something we missed, something we haven't experienced yet.
exactly.
We would be happy to have that like discussion engaged going on there.
And keep going, be consistent, be on track, stay on track, and keep hacking the life. Peace.
Hack life.